Yes, sir.
Hello, everybody. I'm happy to be back with another young Indian. Right now, we have with us Rishika Pulluru. Let's listen to her. Over to you, Rishika.
Hello, sir. First of all, I thank you for inviting me to this Vidpeds today to speak to you and share my opinions and thoughts unfiltered. So, so today, initially, I would like to begin this talk with a note. That is, my name is Rishika, and today in this talk, I will be initially talking about myself, my academic journey, and what were my learnings, my experiences, and all. And later on, the talk would be more general. So this video is not something very specific to my domain or something very specific. So it's more a general talk. And starting with my academic journey, I would like to start with my 10th standard. So from the very beginning, I intend to start. So as every student, even I studied in Warangal. Actually, I am born and brought up in Warangal, so I'm from Telangana. And so in my 10th standard, like every student, I am an average student. So who is not a topper, who is not a backbencher, as people say. So I'm a very average student, and I didn't have many dreams as such. I want to become that. I want to become this. I had nothing in my mind. I was totally like, okay, I'll go with the flow, and I was that kind of person. So when I completed my 10th with okay good grades, I must say. So then every of my friends were either going to engineering or going to doctor. And in South, especially in the Telugu states, there is this tendency: if you'll complete your 10th, you need to either become a doctor or you should go for engineering. Other than that, anything you do, you're considered as a not very good at study student. So this was the basic tendency. So I I didn't take a very conscious decision back then. So all of my friends were doing uh, engineering and they were going for uh, PCM basically. So I thought, okay, the point here is that I was not very comfortable with PCM, but still I took that because everyone were taking that. That is the only thing which was in my mind. So I took PCM, and those were the 2 years, plus one and plus two, were the 2 years of my life when I felt conscious decision is needed when you are taking a decision for your life, whether it is academic or whether it is personal, doesn't matter. Because initially I felt okay, I can cope up with things and all, but I later on in the process I felt this is not my cup of tea. I was so uh, I was I mean I was like I was not comfortable with the studies which I was doing, even though I realized it was late. By the time I realized, I already was in midterm and I couldn't do anything just to complete my studies. And that was the point when I felt okay, I need to take decision consciously from now on. Then I completed my PCM. I just completed it. Then I thought to change my course. I thought, I sat and I thought what were my strengths, what were my weaknesses, what I want to become in life. And at that point of time, I got to know about civils, UPSC civil services examination. And I thought, okay, I will be doing my graduation in arts. And the irony here is that you don't have a college which provides you arts. And there was only one or two government colleges, that too, which didn't have very much reputation in the city. And I was in fact skeptical about joining arts in the first place, because everyone I told that I'm taking arts, they were like, oh, you don't want to study, that means because I didn't take BTech, I didn't take engineering. That's the reason they say, oh, you're not good at studies, then you don't want to become good in life. That was the mindset of the people from where I came. But my family, I need to quote them, were very supportive. From the beginning, they say, do what you want, don't listen to the world. So that is the upbringing that I got. Then I took a brave decision and took Bachelor of Arts. And it was, I must say, it was a turning point in my life. Those 3 years, I changed a lot as a person because I in my graduation college I encountered with one sir who's a public administration lecturer. His name is Mr. Ramakrishna Reddy, and he is the person who told me like how I need to develop myself. And initially I said that I want to do UPSC preparation and all, and luckily I got a group of friends who were having the same intent in that college. So we, with the help of our sir, actually have established a competitive cell in our college, which was very new. And it was a total student initiative. And we actually have studied with the help of competitive cell. We used to organize very guest lectures. We used to understand the requirements of the UPSC. Then we used to conduct. We used to debate a lot. We used to discuss. I mean, it was more an democratic setup. It was not a teacher or student. Teacher's role is nothing in this. The teachers were just the coordinators, and we students did a lot of things in that as part of that competitive cell. I in fact participated in various elocution competitions, and I participated in youth parliament, national youth parliament as well. So
I have to put you on
so
pause for a
I
second.
can't hear you.
Yeah, I have to put you on pause for a
Sure,
second.
sir.
So we are back from the pause. Rishika will continue, please.
Sure. So I was talking about the competitive cell that we established in our college, and we that was a democratic setup, and we used to debate and discuss a lot, and that was the fun part of it, and we were learning a lot of things. And that is the point where I started how to I understood how to think and how to do analysis of things. So we in fact included the whole college who is having the same thinking process. I mean, who are having common interests. We tried to incorporate it as a part of the college activities. So that was the a kind of invention that we did as students in our college. That is one thing. And as part of my graduation, we did a project. We did a project on issues and challenges of women at workplace, and that project kind of expanded my horizons of thinking. So I've learned a lot how to conduct a research. Like I understood the nitty gritties of a research initially, like the basic understanding of the research. Though I don't have a very deep understanding, the basics were built in my graduation. Here, I understood one thing. No matter what the people think, no matter what is the reputation of the college, if you have the zeal to learn, you can learn anywhere. It's just the environment that you need to create for yourself. Only that matters. And I think I was able to create that environment. And because of that preparation itself, I got into IIT. And that is my belief. Because that was the COVID time while I was in my graduation. Almost 2 years of my graduation went in COVID. It was only online classes and all. So that was the time I was serious about UPSC preparation. Then I got to know about IIT Development Studies course, and I was having a gap of 1 year to write prelims examination because I didn't have the requisite age limit. So I thought I'll do masters, and then I would give UPSC. I went to give IIT entrance exam, and there I saw all the people from JNU, DU, all the BHU, and in fact I was uh, at a point I thought, where I stand here. I mean, I'm no one in front of these people. These people have studied from premier institutes, and I can't compete with them. That was my initial feeling. But somehow I I took up the job, and I wrote the exam, and I qualified. That was a major learning for me because if you have the matter, if you have the education, if you have the knowledge within you, you can shine anywhere. That is my strong belief, and that is my core belief. So I went to IIT, and my master's uh, journey has started. Here, I made a lot of mistakes. I must admit it, because once I got settled in masters, it was a time when I started procrastinating things. Till then I was like, oh, I need to do something. I have to work a lot, uh, because I don't belong any that was my belief ki, uh, I need to work a lot, because I don't have a very good background. But here at IIT, I somehow thought, okay, I'm an IITian now, so I can do things lately. That kind of belief developed in me, and that I made mistakes. I started a lot of procrastination, and there I got exposed to new ideas, like I expanded my thinking. Okay, I have a future in PhD. I may have a future in industry as well. Till then, my thinking was only limited up to UPSC, because I've done arts. I have no other option. I need to do only UPSC. But now I'm having different options. It became difficult for me to choose where I should go. So that became the thing. Later on, as I said earlier, I kept procrastinating things while choosing what I have to do in the course of my life. So then it was high time. I need to decide. It was second year of my masters, and it was placements time. Then I felt, okay, I'm not really inclined towards doing a job at this point of time, and I want to pursue research. I want to go for a PhD. That was my thinking. But again, here, I'm not very sure about in which domain I need to choose my PhD, because that needs a lot of thinking, that needs a lot of patience. So again, I kept procrastinating on choosing what is right for me. So that was basically my journey so far. I completed my master's uh, from IIT. And now I came back home. Everyone started asking, oh, didn't you get placements? Didn't you get placement? So there is a lot of pressure. Here I would like to digress a little bit, and I would like to speak one very important and yet underrated topic. Recently, IIT Guwahati has been in news so far, not just because of its placements or its very good work, like education, but because of the number of suicides that are increasing in IIT and the student protests that were happening. It was very good that in fact, appreciate that the students protested and overthrew the administration over there. And everyone were happy that the administration is gone now, everything is gonna settle now. But behind doing all this, somewhere we are missing the basic or the fundamental thing that is causing the problem. Student suicides is a very big problem. And what is the fundamental of that? What is the fundamental or root cause of that? As per my understanding, is the society's hypocrisy. I am telling this because in our society, what do we expect? The parents expect good marks of students, good marks of their children. They should get good marks in the education, they should have a good placement. Like anything other than that is not acceptable. We didn't, okay, students at master's level, at graduation level are doing suicides. Fair enough. But isn't the root in the children's education? The school education isn't the reason for that. I mean, what I'm trying to tell here is that if we have prepared our children to face a setback, to face a failure, then will the students do that drastic step? That is my fundamental question. We have not even, हमने हमारे बच्चों को सिखाया ही नहीं है कि how to deal with things, how to deal with failure. हमेशा हम यही बोलते हैं कि you need to do good in your exams, you need to do great in your exams, you need to be ahead of everyone. And there are parents who tell we are very we don't stress our children a lot. We are just, we in fact encourage them. Okay, I understand. But what kind of encouragement are you giving your children? High expectations. You say, you'll do great, you'll do great. But hardly any parents will say that even if you don't do great, it's fine. That we don't see. I mean, hardly. And here I would like to quote my parents as an example deliberately. They have never forced me to study. They have never asked me about my marks, about my academics. They only say, do whatever you do with full sincerity. That's the only thing they said. And even in my masters, my fourth semester was a bit tough time for me because I had to do my dissertation, and every third day I used to feel like leaving it because I was not very comfortable doing all the calculations and all the quantitative regressions and all. So I used to call up my parents and I used to say I feel like leaving it. What my father used to say, he used to say, if you don't like, leave it. He never said, oh, you need to do what the society will think, what everyone will think. You went so far. How can you leave? He never said that. He used to say, I'll book the ticket, you come back. That's the, I mean, this doesn't mean that I'll go back. It just means the confidence which the parents give the students. And that is missing in today's education system. The irony is that everyone is comfortable with this system itself, and everyone starts blaming the administration, the government, but the society doesn't realize its part in all this setup. That is the main issue. Even if someone tries to change the existing setup, it's like there will be resistance because everyone is comfortable with it. And it's like how many marks you got. Whenever you ask the student how many marks you got and what is your package, and you try to compare it with people, other people, this kind of uh, brings an inferiority complex in the students itself. And this is more in IITians, because IITians are too big to fail, people think. uh, Generally, in our society where I saw, people are like, oh, IITians ko to karodon mein package lagta hai. The people see the 2.5 crore package, the 3 crore package, which is the highest. And what about the others? That is just 1% of the total. What about the others? No one is ready to accept that. That is the main problem. And the day we change from marks based education to a skills based education, I mean, instead of asking how many marks you got, if you will ask, what do you know? That makes a lot of difference. So ultimately, what I want to tell today, whosoever will be watching this, might who have just entered graduation or who's in the course of their academic career, I just tell only one thing: don't run behind marks. It's just the skills that matter. If you have the skills, you can. The world is open for you. I'm saying this. Even if you have a 9 to 10 GPA in your universities, all these marks are inflated. Once you're out of your university, you will get to know the real world. These sheets are just for making the frames and hanging it on the walls. Other than that, your skills matter. And it's quite common to have confusions. I had a lot of confusions, and I was really uncertain with the things ahead. But still, after coming home, I decluttered my mind. I sat down, I gave time for myself. What I really want to do. Do I really want to continue UPSC, or do I really want to go for research? Then my answer was for myself was, okay, I am inclined towards research. Now I want to pursue research. So today I'm building upon my skills, and uh, hopefully by next year I will get into some university, but my focus is just on skills, not on marks or not on the people. So this is something which I really wanted to talk today. Sir, I can't hear you.
I was on mute. Well, I've hardly seen such a passionate discussion in all the Vidpeds that I've done. I think on passion, you score 110%. In your strength of
Thank
your
you, sir.
beliefs and the logic of your ideas and your depth of analysis of the problem. I think it's you validate the reason I had for launching this channel. The young
Thank you
people
so
have
much, sir.
something to say. We don't give them a chance to say it. Let me give them a chance to say it. And here you have taken full advantage of it and told us things that you feel very strongly about, you have thought about. And you have been fortunate that you had parents who weren't like that, but you have rightly pointed out. But let me speak on behalf of the older generation. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because you have to know that the older generation grew up in poverty. Okay. You didn't, but the older generation did. By older generation, I mean anybody who came of working age by 1995. Who came of working age by 1995 grew up in poverty compared to today. Today is
Yes,
you grew up in the 21st century. They grew up in the 20th century. India was a poor country. Things were scarce. And the only future was in good marks. And there weren't too many options in those days. And so the mindset became quite narrow for most people that look, you got to assure, as I wrote on LinkedIn the other day, the older generation went for safety and linear development. Okay.
yes,
Just get into something good, stick to it, and that's it. Your life is made. And be safe. Okay. So safety meant going to a top university if possible, study hard, get good marks, you're all set. Okay. The idea that you can have a non-linear development, you can take some risks, you can try this, wasn't there in our times.
yes, sir.
You just had
So,
to uh,
yeah,
do one or two things they were, and you just fell into the line. Okay, if you want to do UPSC, that was an honorable exception to science and medical. Yeah, okay, UPSC, fine. This is understood. But beyond that, it was all, and become professor, yeah, it's fine. You want to be poor, okay, it's your choice. You can be a professor. So professor, a UPSC, doctor, engineer, everything else was trash. Unless you were going to be a very high priced tax accountant or lawyer or something like that. But that was considered as, very, very unlucky and very difficult. So for the older generation, they grew up in a different India, which is
yes.
hard for young people to actually even imagine.
Yes.
The
But
choice.
I think this the circumstances have changed, the situations have changed, and with this change in situations, even I think we have to change. We need to accept that change. So that link is somewhere missing.
Yeah, the
That is my
change is hard to come because the old generation, their life was that like that for generations, no? So
yes,
for many years, for decades. So for them, yes, prosperity is welcome, but they are still scared.
yes,
That competition, and more importantly, competition has increased, and in their minds, they are scared that look, these young people, they're having a good life. They don't know what hard work means. They don't know what sticking to it means, and uh, the world is more competitive, which is true. They need to be more worried about life. So it doesn't really fit in with the option-oriented world of young people.
yes,
There is no, one fellow who's a senior guy to even to me, one day he asked me, Subodh, what is this midlife crisis? I said, sir, it was not an option in your time. How would you know? There's no such thing known in your time. So, just keep in mind that the older generation lived in very different circumstances, and their thinking, etc., is of the old days. Okay. But,
yes,
and now it also depends, as you rightly pointed out, on the particular family. Okay. If you, like your parents said, do what you like, but do it sincerely. That's unusual advice, and it's unusual upbringing. But as you rightly pointed out, that's you were lucky in that. You managed to be um, free a little bit to explore your options, do your thing. So this whole business of options wasn't there in the old days. As I said, safe and linear.
Yeah.
get get stuck in a particular groove and go for it, and don't, whether it is, as I wrote on LinkedIn, whether it is work or marriage, just get hooked and get going. As for men also, it's not like for women only. Your path is set, just stick to it. So do understand where the older generation is coming from.
Yes,
And
certainly.
I've also felt that the older generation doesn't realize how good the young people are. And that's why they don't let them speak. And that's why this channel, that, look, you have all these good people and you think they're just wasting their time on social media or Insta or whatever it is, which we don't understand because we don't know what it is. So they just, but I said, no, that's not true. The young people are actually quite good. Let's give them a chance to speak. And so here we are with that channel in place. And I heard you. It's very good that you said what you said. And but that's my response to what you said. Okay. Anything else you want
Thank you,
to
sir.
add here about yourself, your hobbies? How was life in
Uh,
Assam to move from Warangal, which is not really cosmopolitan, I assume?
yes,
And you met people from all Indian places, all sources in IIT, because they're not just from Assam, they're from everywhere there. So
definitely, certainly.
how was it?
So the life over there is very different from the life I've lived all my teenage,
Hmm.
because I am a person who never went to hostel before my masters, and certainly I went to a 2 years of break from my home and my parents. It was very difficult, but once I got adjusted to the environment. It felt so good. I mean, you tend to meet a lot of people every day. You learn a lot of things.
Hmm.
There is the cultural amalgamation that you see. You enjoy a lot and you study a lot. Both things are there over there. Like ultimate, both are at their peaks, I would say. And we can learn a lot of things over there.
Okay.
And the local culture is very like homely, I would say.
Okay. All right. Okay. Any tips you have for younger people based on your
So
own
young,
experience?
for younger people, I just say only one thing. There's no need for, uh, there's no need to be serious in our life. We need to be sincere in our efforts. That is the one mantra which everyone have to remember, and focus on your skills. Upskill yourself,
Hmm.
and your skills can land you where you want to be in
Okay.
your life. That is the one mantra. Confusions are common, uncertainties are common. If we speak to people, we can declutter our mind. That is my experience.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to add here?
No, sir.
All right. Good. Thank you so much, Rishika. Then we can end the recording here and we can talk a little
Sure,
bit
sure.
later in case you are interested. All right. Let's end it here.
So, just a minute, sir.
Yeah.
I really would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity, because we generally don't get an option to express our feelings in this way to the world.
I
So,
know.
I think this platform is very unique in itself.
It is.
It's really unique.
Let me add to that here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Uh, the more general point, to a more general point, okay. You people are very clever, creative, hardworking, motivated. What I want to tell you is think big. Don't think small change. When you do something new or anything that you get a chance, think big. And
Yes.
people say, well, I think out of the box. I said, no, it's no good. It's like scoring one run or single or two. You need to hit sixes and fours. And that means you need to create boxes where there aren't any. You need to create a new box. Example is this channel. It's not a variation of anything. It's not. You can look at any channel, any interview session, nothing like it, right? It's unique, not kind of unique. I know it is unique. It is
Yes, sir.
different. And it serves a purpose, right? So that's where your mind should go. Whether you are in any profession, a job, corporate, whatever, it doesn't matter. Think big. And what is the big change? Because India is, as you said, opportunities. It wasn't there in our times. You couldn't do anything. Right? Even in the your parents' generation, which is one younger than me, I'm sure, there wasn't that opportunity. There were no options. Where was the money? Where was the resources? Today, we are full of educated young people with tons of energy, all interconnected with smartphones and everything. I mean, we could barely find a pen that didn't leak to write our exams. The very pen used to leak all over the answer book. So, it was very different. So now you have the opportunities. You need to score 4s and 6s. Play T20. Don't play Test cricket. Don't play Test, because think big. Think, look, what is it that we can do from first principles? What is the need here, actual need? And forget about what has been done in the past, because now talking economics, it was optimized under the previous constraints. Let's put it in our jargon, that there were certain constraints within which you created an optimum situation. You optimized with respect to your budget constraint, or let's call it opportunity set. But the opportunity set was very small, right? And any optimization that you did with respect to that opportunity set, which is what, in economics, we call the budget set, the line and all. Right? But what I'm generalizing it to say there's an opportunity set, and you optimized with respect to that opportunity set in the past. But today, the opportunity set is very different. And if you go by past practices, you are still optimizing with respect to the old constraints, whereas those constraints have vanished. Your opportunity set is much bigger, if you think about it. And you can score big. Score big meaning have an impact. So I gave the example of this channel. It is an improbable channel. I've lived outside India for 52 years, 51 years. And I'm at a senior citizen age, and yet I can create a channel for young people in India. Why? Because you think from first principles. And you think big. Okay, I'm going to change Indian society's attitude towards young people. Think big. Say, who the hell are you? Say, I'm nobody, but I'll do it. And as you said, there's nobody gives you a chance. So I'll give them the chance. I'll listen. What's the big deal? Learn to listen. Okay, so this is what I want to add here. That look, you have been thinking for yourself. You've had the opportunity. Wherever you go out, whatever you do, don't be satisfied with scoring. I mean, you may not get a chance, okay? It's all right. But when you get a chance, hit a 6. Because the field is open in India these days. And we do need young people to do things that don't go on past practice. Because the world, India has changed so much that all past practice is basically obsolete. It is obsolete. And there's a new India, and it's a growing India, it's a changing India. Go with the new India. Don't be stuck with the past. Right? Okay, so enough of preaching from me, but I do want to preach a bit. All right, let's end it here, shall we?
Yes, sir. Sure.
All right, good. So let's say bye to the viewers. I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Bye till then.